Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. We have an update right off the top of the show from yesterday's program where Obama, we told you, is merging faith and the EPA. Here's the latest. Let me show you a t-shirt. See this t-shirt? The Salvation Army. A FEMA videographer asked volunteers to change out of this shirt, doing the most good to Salvation Army, after a cleanup of a tornado because they didn't want any religious reference. FEMA, the Salvation Army logo. They are destroying charity and our faith. Restore it and the truth with me. Next, let's go. There were big elections yesterday. Tea Party candidates were successful. Arlen Specter, I mean, he was good for laughs, and other career politicians are now out. All of the other news networks have been covering the ins and the outs of what happened, and quite honestly, if you're looking for more in-depth analysis on this, the best political shows in America are Bret Baier and Sean Hannity. They have all of the ins and outs of what it means to Capitol Hill and all the political parties. I'm not that good at that. That's not what I do. This show is a little different. I'm kind of a zoomed out guy. I'm a big picture guy. And quite honestly, politics is at the bottom of my list. Faith, hope, and charity are at the top. We've got to do both, and I understand that. But I want to cover the problems, the corruption, and the plans of a very, very dark scenario. I'm going to let Brett and Sean give you what you need to know about last night at 6 and 9 p.m. Tonight, I want to talk to you about your liberty. I want to talk about preserving your liberty, preserving our nation and our nation's ideals. And it really does begin with you. You have to take care of yourself. You have to teach things to your children. You have to learn new things in history. And we have to figure out a way to preserve our wealth because we are redistributing it. We are. And when I say wealth, I don't mean just talking about the rich people. I'm talking about whatever it is that you have. If you think you're safe because you're not the wealthiest 1%, I have news for you. No matter what you make, you are considered rich compared to the rest of the globe. And whatever wealth you have will be targeted and shipped, most likely, overseas. Any place that is deemed less fortunate, worse off, more needy than you. I'm going to explain some of this stuff later on in the program, but let me start with the trap, if you will. Congressman Anthony Weiner had a press conference yesterday, which means, I think, that he just called MSNBC because they're the only ones covering this clown. He's accusing one of the sponsors of my program, Goldline, of, quote, ripping off customers. And I'm involved, and he's just fighting for the little guy. Here's what he said.
There also seems to be an unholy alliance taking place between conservative commentators and this industry. One thing that we know for sure is that Goldline is a ripoff, and they are a very sophisticated multimedia ripoff.
It's unbelievable. He went on to talk about me, how I'm fear-mongering. That's all I'm doing, fear-mongering for Goldline. Yeah. In the report he issued, he stated the following. On numerous occasions, Glenn Beck had dedicated entire segments to his program to explaining why the U.S. money supply is destined for hyperinflation with Barack Obama as president. Yeah. I think I was saying things like this when Bush was president. He'll often promote the purchase of gold as the only safe investment alternative for customers who want to safeguard their livelihoods. Yeah. It's the only one I can figure out, but I don't think it's the only one. We took apart the truths and untruths for this report, and I would give them to you now, but I've decided I'm not going to waste my precious airtime on Weiner facts. So we have now weinerfacts.com, and I want you to go there right now. Whoops, there we go. I want you to go to weinerfacts.com. There we go. Here's weinerfacts.com, and you'll find all of the little facts about Weiner. There's Weiner there. Right there. But let me go into the real unholy alliance, because that's what he's calling it, an unholy alliance. It's the grassroots unholy alliance. To silence anybody who speaks out about this program or anybody at all that is involved. Scare the friends, scare anybody away. The unholy alliance. Look at this. I like Weiner. Presidential advisor Jim Wallace is on this unholy alliance. He's boycotting this show. Isn't that weird? Presidential advisor, spiritual and political advisor for Barack Obama. Wow. Former green job czar at the White House, Van Jones. He's boycotting it. It's weird. Then there's Andy Stern, SEIU. They're boycotting this program and doing all they can to stop us. All three of these guys trying to lead and rally people in against this program. And then the AFL-CIO, they've also said that they're doing everything they can. And then we have Weiner up here. This one's interesting because we've graduated into a darker level now, because now it's official. McCarthy has appeared. See, they call me Joe McCarthy. I don't have the power of Congress. You know, I can't call people to be testifying in front. I can't do that. I can't do that. That's weird. But Weiner can. Now let me ask you this. What are the odds that the president doesn't know that 1, 2, 3 of his advisors and now one congressman, Weiner, is doing this to this program? Wow. Let me just talk to you for a second. How afraid they really must be to spend all of this time and money on little old me. By the way, in a completely unrelated story, Weiner had a very busy day yesterday. He launched that attack on me, and then just a couple of hours later, he was meeting with the president at the White House. Wow. On another completely unrelated story, Weiner's newly hired press secretary, until recently, worked, no, not the Center for American Progress, financed by George Soros, but Media Matters, funded by George Soros. You know, the spin machine for the left? Isn't that? I like Weiner. It was Media Matters, by the way, who first started the lie that we could read in, I think, the LA Times and then the Washington Post, which this guy is always doing stuff with the Washington Post. The little story came from Media Matters that my ratings were down on this program. Well, now we can tell you because the official ratings are out May to May, and it's weird. They're down so far that they're actually up 22%. Sounds like a smear campaign with no facts at all. It was also Media Matters who started the ridiculous attack on gold sponsorships. Now that is something we should look into, this unholy alliance in Media Matters and Weiners. You can do that on the new site, weinerfacts.com. I actually, we're putting this together because really the only way to deal with a joke of an investigation is to treat it like a joke of an investigation. It's a site about Tony Weiner and other famous Weiners. Email tips to Weiner at weinerfacts.com. But I digress. We should move on because, quite honestly, I'm enjoying this part of it too much. So now that is 4 attempts to stop this program that I know of coming from the administration or from Congress. Yet nobody will cover that. What is it they're afraid of? I know. Probably our track record, mainly on the economy, the auto industry, health care, you know, those things. Watch.
You know, I've been a bull on the economy for a very long time. However, it is time to face facts on the economy, and that is, it's smoke and mirrors. I'm telling you, I really truly believe we're going to have universal health care, and I don't think you're going to be able to do anything to stop it. The auto industry in America, let's be honest, it's not going to be able, it will collapse.
It's just a couple of them. We had like, hey, 3 minutes before the show, could you throw some of them together? Yeah, we could do hours of them. It's spooky. It's almost an unholy alliance. How accurate we are. The reason why is because I'm just telling you the way it is. Everybody else has to play their cards. You know, they got favors or, well, I don't know why. Or they're afraid. At this point, I think they're afraid. But here's some really good news. Okay, there's reason number 1 why they try to shut us down. But this is really the answer. I want to show you this. This is from, I saw this last night. Somebody emailed this. This is Amazon.com, the top 25 movers and shakers on Amazon.com in the books. And if you look at this and you see this, I've never seen anything like this before. The Federalist Papers are on there. The real Thomas Jefferson is on there. The Wives of the Signers, that was the David Barton book that he said. Here's George Washington's Sacred Fire. Look at this one. America's Godly Heritage. I mean, you see this? Separation of church and state. I mean, it's amazing what's happening in this country. There is a revival of truth and faith. 17 out of the 25 movers and shakers on Amazon.com are either about the Constitution, the founders, or their religion. This show has directly talked about at least 11 of those 17.